Crazy, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy up in here.
Where's that lawsuit? What happened to that lawsuit? Wayne Peters, you got some splaining to do. Norman Travesty, you got some splaining to do. Vaccine Choice, you got some splaining to do. Rocco Galati, you got some splaining to do. Everybody fucked right off, and everybody, well, mostly everybody, seems to have forgotten it even fucking happened. Maybe they're just so fucking happy that COVID is over. And now here we might come again to another fucking pandemic or whatever the fuck they're going to pull, because now we're part of the WHO. They finally got it through. They wiggled that through while we're all busy with other stuff. Yes, I'm slightly going crazy a little bit, but maybe not that much. I don't know. I'm just kind of coming out of my shell a little bit. This is a little bit of whatever fresque. It is whatever fresque, but it's also kind of Digga Dawg style, so I guess it's a little bit of both. I just figured that I would share this audio clip because it's important. It's a phone call between myself and Margaritaville. I don't know if many of you know who Margaritaville is. He is a character that kind of showed up. This is what I remember of him. He kind of showed up on Field McConnell. Able Danger. He had a show called Able Danger that was in the States for a while and talking about all kinds of different conspiracy theories. And this links to another lady that I mentioned in this phone call. I will piece it together a lot better later. The thing is, though, is that it's going to take some time. And I think this is important to at least share now for multiple reasons. First and foremost being is to talk about it, be about it. You know, I've been talking about exposing this for years, and I've never actually produced anything. And I don't like to go and look at their work. I don't like to go and look at Wayne's recent work because it just brings up bad memories and aggravation. So I just haven't been keeping up with him, even if it would, you know, help my story. And I think the one I did watch, he mentioned something about people talking, but there's never any substance. Well, sir, I've got all kinds of substance. I've got substance up to my ears. I've got so much substance that it's hard for me to organize it all. You know, like I have about 4 terabytes from collecting things in an approximate 10-year span. And if you're not computer savvy, that's a lot of space, especially with just screenshots or audio clips or video clips. Like I have like the entire saga of Tucker Carlson going through the Russiagate thing, you know, when I was just getting into politics, probably 2018, or I can't remember the exact date, but I'm just guesstimating that. No, maybe 2017, 16, 15, I can't even remember. Like it's been a long time. So yeah, like I'm about halfway through the other 2 terabytes. And originally what I did is I just went and found everything that was 2020 from 2020 and just went through those files. Like on the first drive, it was like 40,000 files. So like I've probably gone through 100,000, maybe 200,000 files by this point. Just like kind of skimming through, but I also have to like open it to read things because some of the screenshots has writing on it. It's so monotonous and it's driving me nuts, but it's necessary. It is also my own fault because I don't make the folders I don't save them and like organize it right away, which I should be doing. But a lot of the time I'm ADD, hyperactive ADD. So, like, and sometimes I get depressed. So like, I just literally, I know it's important. So I still save it, but I don't bother. Like, I'm not even going to bother making a folder and organizing everything. And I just download it all. In hindsight, it was a horrible idea, but it's either that or I don't save it. So like if I don't save the evidence, then the internet has a habit of losing things or things get erased. So once I started seeing that happening, like way back in the day, I started to document everything. I've got almost every single video I've ever watched, things like this. Like I've got like so many Abel Dager ones, even though he's erased them all. These things come in handy because eventually they don't, sometimes they get taken offline, There's like been plenty of things that I've come across that eventually I lose because I don't save it right away. Like, especially with YouTube, it'll just be gone. That's why I'm like rather proud of the Tucker Carlson collection with the Russiagate thing, because first of all, for being in Canada, that's very hard to get because, well, like at least just on the internet, because, well, we'd have literally no access to it otherwise, so like I had to go on YouTube, and I had like a 1 hour window to be able to download it because people would upload it. And then that's pretty much, I have like so many videos in there. Some of them I probably don't even ever need, but for future reference or anything like that. But I just started downloading it out of habit. Anyway, so yeah, I've got a whole lot of files, and I managed to pick out quite a few of Norman Traversy and Wayne Peters and this whole saga, this whole thing that I'm going to expose. But it's going to take time. Like I have folders, and then there's folders within those folders, so like it's going to take a month, maybe 2, maybe 3. And I already started making some videos there, and like I kind of feel like, I'm being ADD again. I'm starting to like, take a really long time, and it's like, well, am I going to go like another 3 or 4 months without making a damn video? Like, it's certainly not consistent, and consistency is a good thing, especially when you're making content. So I figured that it'd probably be a good idea for me to process this audio file, and it is processed. I had to process the audio. So fair warning that if you do hear some oddities in it, I had to process it to bring his voice up. I don't want to bore you with too much audio engineering talk, but I couldn't necessarily get rid of the hum because, for one, like if I was making a track, I'd certainly spend the time on it, but like, to go in there and like process each clip of which one's which voice to try and isolate it, it's very tedious. It actually took me a long time to even get it to this quality that you'll see or hear, and at least to the point where it's you can hear him well, because his voice, it's my fault for recording it so far away from the phone, and then my voice is just thundering. It just doesn't help for showing it to people. So it is edited to the point. The only thing I'm gonna cut out is my friend from Montreal's name that I mentioned in the phone call, because I did promise her that I wouldn't expose that, even though she is the only witness that knows that I gave Wayne Peters a folder of things that I collected, and also was pitching a lawsuit. I was pitching a class action lawsuit to him. And I think the moment that I said that it could be a lot of money, even though that wasn't my goal, I'm just saying, because I was trying to convince him to do it. He didn't seem too willing to do it, which is the odd thing too, right? Like, he surely as fuck did seem to think it was a good idea, since they fucking stole it from me to do it themselves. So it's like he was like putting on a fucking, maybe he was like putting on a front, It's many years ago though, so it's hard for me to remember exactly, but I am starting to like have flashbacks of what happened. And maybe down the line I'll do a bit of commentary on specific parts of this conversation, to elaborate a bit more, or maybe that'll just be part of the entire documentary that I eventually make. I might even do like my own music for it too, because unless I can find some decent royalty free stuff, so that my documentary doesn't get flagged and messed with by the algorithms and all that other stuff. So I also want people to realize too is that this is it's kind of embarrassing for me to share this, because I have a tendency to kind of be like defensive at times, and this is going to be quite amusing to some people that I used to work with in the music industry to hear some of this stuff, because it is true. I admit it. I can be a handful at times, but I'm also a pretty cool dude. So I mean, like, could just like weigh the good with the bad, and especially if I feel like I've been wronged. That is a trait. It's literally something that happens with child abuse survivors, that we tend to be defensive, and even and the reason why I'm saying this too is that like I even contradict myself in it. At first I say that I'm not trying to get him to not work with him, but it does sound like I certainly expect that by the end of it. But in my defense, it's also me saying, because like I'm just frustrated why he doesn't seem to care. Everything that he's saying, it's like the same thing I was getting out of my friend from Montreal. It's like, you're just kind of trying to play damage control for him. Like, why wouldn't you be upset that these guys are doing this? Like it's almost like, at first I was thinking it's like, well, it's almost like the drowning scenario where someone will drown you if they don't know how to swim. Like they're so desperate to get out of it. Like, and that's kind of the psychology of like the people that would basically, like, that's why I just didn't want to even bother to do anything anymore around 2020. I got really depressed, because it was like, holy shit, I'm trying, at the same time I'm getting attacked by, and I lost my dreams in the music industry. I basically just gave up my dreams to fight for this stuff. And, getting off drugs was a huge thing too. I'm trying to rehabilitate myself, and I'm getting attacked by people just for being on assistance or deciding to move instead of like, and get out and get to a situation where I'm stable, instead of like running around and banging pots and pans like he wanted me to do in Ottawa. Like I had just exposed international terrorism being faked, and he wanted me to like jump on a bus and like go and bang pots and pans with him in the streets of Ottawa, like just with us. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, it's too risky. Like I said in previous videos, like I had these sketchy people in my apartment, the one lady with the purse, and my camera was turned off right after you could see it through the doorway. it didn't sound like a smart idea to do, you know? So yeah, like, and there's all sorts of interesting things in this conversation, you know, like, oh, so Norman or actually Donald Trump Jr., does this guy actually have you on speed dial, sir? Like, is Norman Travesty one of your guys? Because if Norman Travesty is one of your guys, like, I don't know, like, are they CIA? You know, like, because I got to think, you know, like, what would CIA be doing in our country if not, you know, maybe pulling moves or something? Like, am I going to get, like, you know, put on some hit list for pointing it out? Or I don't know, man. Like, what are CIA doing here? You know, I'm sure because that's the whole point of CIA, is to, like, be in other countries, right? I don't know. But if it is the case, if that's your guy, because see, when Norman did this stuff, QAnon made sure to mention it, and you know, like, if Q actually was the president, and these guys actually doing that, then, you know, it would kind of make sense. But it also could make sense that Q was maybe just a bunch of scammers, you know, playing this opportunistic game to manipulate people and take advantage of them financially. Because, I mean, that's basically what's happened. Like, this Margaritaville guy with the Tim Holmes sets, like, they ripped people out. He was saying in one of these videos that he took people for like $700,000. You know, and I remember back when I was watching Cappy's videos, you know, like, just seeing all these different characters pop up. And then I heard of this, like, you know, this thing of, like, groups of scam artists basically doing things on the internet to take advantage of whatever situation it is, to sell what they called, or what you could call, fear porn, that gets people, you know, into, like, watching their stuff, and then they start sending you money. You know, it's a money generating business in some cases. And if potentially you could pull off a scam, well, maybe you might make it rich. And that's the reason why I feel compelled, and I feel it's my duty, and especially to the lady that actually said to me once, when I was trying to explain this in text, around the time that it was actually happening, I spent a lot of time trying to convince people and tell people, like, what had happened. And she told me it was my duty to tell them as a Canadian. And I agree. I'm sorry it's taken me so many years. It's just, I've been going through a lot of stuff myself. Like, as these guys were basically, you know, playing psychological games with me, and basically being kind of a doppelganger of my deeds, things that I did with regard to human rights, and what I was protesting, what I was researching. You know, the guy like Norman Travesty, what I'm discussing in this, I'm sorry if I'm trailing off of what I was trying to say. I don't use cue cards or any points or anything else, notes or anything else like that. I just go off the top of my head. See, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh boy. I was talking about Travesty, and yeah, like, I'm sorry, whatever. I'm still gonna release it. I'm still gonna release it. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this out because what I think has happened here with Travesty. Oh yeah. Oh, scam artists. Okay, maybe I'll cut this out. Anyway, sorry, scam artists. So, like, these groups of scam artists potentially, you know, use fear porn to manipulate people into sending them money, because they just want to, like, out of the goodness of their hearts, they want to help the Children's Crusade, or they want to help this other cause, or whatever else. You know, and they donate probably very generously, you know, because that's the same reason why I was trying to help with this, because, you know, if those kinds of things were actually happening, I want I want to make sure to get to the bottom of it. I did a lot of research on the Pizzagate stuff, for instance, and I'm still pretty sure there's a lot of truth to that. Especially, I'll show you later. I might actually add it to the documentary. One of the things that I personally found online that it made me like not even, because it's almost like the party scene that I was in. It's child abuse, but it's not CP. It's really fucked up and psychological. Like there's this kid in the middle of a bunch of fucking nudists that are like in a glow party, and like he's hidden within the group, and you can see him and his face. He looks fucking miserable, you know. And this was online, and this is like connected to potentially some high level Democrats. So like, I mean, there certainly probably is some weird fucking shit going on. It's just, are there people taking advantage of it and taking advantage of people? And the reason why I want to do this is because, you know, we just got signed up to the WHO, and the whole fucking point of doing a lawsuit that they pitched it for years to us about was justice for Canadians. You know, so that way we're not going to go into the WHO, and that we wouldn't, you know, be abused the same way again. And guess what? Guess what we were just signed up to? The WHO. So they have control over our health stuff now. And I'd bet that there's going to, like, I'm already seeing some of the alt media talk about it, about the bird flu coming through, you know. And that's why I'm so upset about this, because these guys, I think, potentially cashed in and settled. They made all this hoopla about this lawsuit. And this is where I say that the potential scammers group thing is heading, you know, like, because these people all coordinated and basically ran game on all of you. Not on me, on you. And collected about 100,000 plus Canadian dollars for a lawsuit that he never eventually did. He sent it to the people from Vaccine Choice Canada, and Vaccine Choice Canada did the lawsuit. And then there was some redacted people on there, which I'd bet any money it was Norman and whoever else was involved. And he used his real name. I have evidence of that too. I have his real name. And, you know, and you might say, well, maybe it's just held up in court. Well, if it's held up in court, they spent how many years or how long telling us about it, hyping it up, getting as much public exposure as possible, only to what? Vanish like a fart in the wind? Hell, even down to the lawyer, Rocco. Rocco made some fucking lame-ass excuse and then just exited. Stage left. Like, they literally left us fucking high and fucking dry, and there's still thousands of Canadians that watch fucking both these guys. And then for whatever reason, nobody gives a fuck what I'm saying. And it's like, I started the process. It was from my effort. And you guys got the fucking scam artist version of what I wanted to do. And I'm not talking shit. Like, I don't know necessarily the specifics about the lawsuit, but, you know, when you settle, because I've been through this process before, when you settle and you make a deal on a lawsuit to not continue with it, you have an obligation to stay silent about it. So you can't talk about it at all, and especially in public. So if you talk about it in public, then you risk your settlement money. And the thing is that Vaccine Choice almost overnight became this like almost like incorporated entity, instead of the lady that just seemed really excited that on Facebook as she was posting Norman Traversy's stuff. You know? So it's like he sent it over to her so that way they could avoid, because they knew because I had already called Margaritaville here, and I already told them I know that you guys are fucking scamming people. So Rocco puts out this thing, saying like, oh, there's been harassment. Like, I'm harassing the fraudster. Typical lawyer thing, I guess. It's like such a jumbled mess. And you know what? Like, and I bet you when you hear this audio, you'll probably think, well, wow, like that Margaritaville guy, though, he sounds like he's like, like just trying to be his friend, he's trying to work with him and stuff. But here's the thing. From the very get-go, Margaritaville was lying. He was being deceptive because he was at Norman Traversy's house at this time. There's a video of him with Norman Traversy that I have, that they did while they were together. And if you go closer to the end, the very first phone call that you hear in the background, you can hear Norman pick up and say, hello. It's his voice. I'll see if I can do like some kind of comparison later on. But for now, you can hear it. And you hear Margaritaville I can't hear exactly what he says, but it's like he's probably telling him, hey, shut the fuck up, And this whole time, this guy was basically and he spent a good 40, like almost an hour trying to convince me, it's like he was on damage control. He's like, because I'll show you too, like how at first he didn't give me, like he responded, but he didn't give me the time of day. Like he didn't want anything. He wasn't trying to like say, oh yeah, let's work together. But as soon as I caught these motherfuckers, sorry to my elder people out there. I know I swear, it's just part of my vocabulary. I have to be me. But I do apologize. I know it hurts your ears. But it also pisses me off. So like I've got to get it out too. Like they are motherfuckers, So yeah, like he was basically just trying to like damage control because I caught them, and I caught him basically like, because Section 15 doesn't have anything to do with what he was talking about. They literally made a dramatization of things that I was doing, of something I did. I have to look at all the documents again and see it again to refresh my memory. But that's what I'm discussing here in the phone call. It's also weird too, because like he kind of, well, one odd thing too is that he does mention that he's been charged with fraud several times, which, hey, look, I have a checkered past myself, so I can't judge, but I mean, that's kind of indicative of people that might be into fraud, like I cashed a fake check before that was like, I was kind of bamboozled into it by these older guys, and is the whole scheme of like, get some guy that's just going to get a slap on the wrist. They literally said that to me. You'll just get a slap on the wrist. But then I ended up getting kicked out of my house and went homeless as a 16-year-old, but whatever. That's a long story. Some other day. So I'm just being honest. Like I have been charged for one charge of fraud when I was 16 years old, and I confessed everything. Here's another thing too. Anything that I've ever done, I've never pled not guilty. There's not a single thing that's ever happened to me when I was a juvenile or whatever that I pled not guilty to. So, like, I mean, if you want to say that that's a sign of honesty, then you'd probably be right in my case. But anyway, I digress. He mentions here that he's been charged with fraud, but then he goes and says, "Oh, well, I didn't do it." The typical things. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. Like, I'm going to be honest with you about it, even if it's at my own detriment. So, and that's another aspect of this too, is that people play a confidence game. You'll find, like, especially if, like, I'm not saying everybody that has a good story is a con man, but, I'd imagine that any good con man is not going to approach you by immediately saying he's a con man or that he's been arrested for fraud, and that could be in Margaritaville's favor here too. I understand, but I'm just trying to make the point, like a lot of these people are coming and relying on their background to get out of a question or get out of a difficult question. Like that's something that I see people on alt media right now talking about, like how some officials in the U.S. that are kind of like not doing their job necessarily. They're relying on their background instead of answering the question of why they're not doing a certain thing. Like, oh well, what you'd imagine that I would, and like a lot of these people, like Wayne Peters, he says like he's a ex-service member. And there's a lot of ex-service members, and I'm not saying that, like, of course, those are probably the people that you'd imagine would want to defend the country, But sometimes people rely on this, and the same thing with Norman Travesty. He's a firefighter, and as soon as you think of that, you think, oh, he's honorable. And this guy always seems to mention several times here, like Donald Trump Jr. So he's trying to associate with them with the president. So it's like, it's almost, and if you listen to it, it's almost as if he's waiting for me to like be in shock and awe. Like, oh, like he's probably used to, anytime he tells people that, like he's used to them going like, oh, really? Like maybe he's used to dealing with, sorry to say, like kind of, really impressionable Canadians that are desperate in a way to believe that there's a savior coming and stuff like that. So it's all just a kind of a twisted thing. And you know what? I mean, I do feel bad if these things have actually happened. Like if something happened to his family, like I obviously am not a fan of that. I think that, that's very sad, but it is kind of weird too, like how he says that his daughter was kidnapped, but really she was taken by Child Protective Services, I think, if I recall correctly. And I guess you could call that a kidnapping, but like, like it's not really being realistic. It's like you were doing some weird experiments on her. And even if it was for her benefit, it is kind of does sound kind of weird, and like maybe that is a thing that's happening. But I'd just rather stop. I'd rather like, because he starts to talk about the things like the psychological thing, like there's a way to make someone happy and then make someone sad. But like, why not just stop the sad stuff, and let them figure out their own soul or life or whatever, Like, don't fucking experiment on your kid, for fuck's sakes, And also, I'd like to say too that, like, right after we had this argument, like he basically lied his ass off on some comment thing that we were chatting on online. Like he just totally tried to play it off like we didn't just have that conversation until I said, dude, I recorded it, and he did say, I don't trust you and you shouldn't trust me. And like you could hear in my voice when I'm like, oh, okay, well, you're right. Because I don't necessarily trust you guys. I'd like to, but like you're representing some people that literally just made up a fucking part of a story to sell to Canadians so they can get fucking donations using my life. And that's the thing, like with Wayne Peters, like, dude, like he was interviewing some elderly guy, and I'm not saying it's wrong to interview an elderly guy, but like he just literally got this folder from a Canadian that's been fighting this stuff for years, and he could have still talked to me, like he could have did something. That's not actually something he said that he was going to do. He said he was going to send it to some of his writers, like people that do blogs or something like that, to do a blog on me, but then he never did. I guess as soon as the lawsuit came up, it was like, well, fuck this guy. We're going to get rich off this, maybe. I don't know. It seems a little odd, like, because he was sleeping in his car and going door to door, asking people for money. And then, all of a sudden, all those troubles went away. And like, he's got this, like, I just looked at the recent video, and it's quite the fancy leather chair he got. And I noticed that Norman Travesty had quite the fancy car when he did a later on video where he dropped some document at some cop's feet. And the thing with Vaccine Choice Canada, like that's the most blatant one. Like they went from just some lady that had a group to like they've got like some representative and like. There's signs and symbols. And this is the reason why it's so fucked up. Because if they did settle, they threw us all under the bus. Because there's some class actions you don't settle on. Because if the whole point was to save Canadians from being abused medically, and they basically took money instead, opening the door for them to continue abusing us medically, and then now we're a part of the WHO medically, and all this has been for nothing. All the pain and suffering and aggravation and the convoy, everything was for nothing if that went through anyway, right? So anyway, like I said, like it's slightly embarrassing for me to even share this. So I hope you realize too that, like, I'm not acting in it. It's not scripted. Like, do you think, like, if I was like worried about what people would think of me after, like I'd be so kind of like hyperbolic and look the fool, so to speak, If I was trying to look good, I'd be a bit more reserved and just kind of just sit there and let the other person talk. But I have emotional problems. That's why I'm on a disability. Like, I was abused as a child. So, like, please understand that. Take that into consideration. But I'm also a very honest dude. And doing my best to be my best every day. So with that said, I think for now, let's just get to the meat and potatoes, as they say. This is Margaritaville talks to whatever Fresk in 2020.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Chris.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing? That's cool.
I'm ugly and stupid.
Pardon?
I say I'm ugly and stupid. Nothing for changes. What can I do for you?
Well, I don't know, man. Like, that last email I sent you, I couldn't help but question her because I started looking at our old messages ourselves, and she was kind of trying to convince me to keep it quiet. And she even said the same thing that Norman said in the video about don't tell your enemy your moves. Like the same quote. So I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. And she's denying everything too, right? So like what happened is when me and Wayne Peters stopped talking, he blocked me, and then I got in a fight with her, so I stopped talking to her because I was pissed that she didn't find that messed up, But that doesn't mean that she didn't stop talking to him, because she donated to him when I just questioned her, But she said that there was no other communication, right? So that's automatically giving me alarm bells, right? So, oh, it's just crazy, man. I don't even know what to do with it, but
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I get people that bring me fights all the time, and they say, "Here, you take it now," and I go,
yeah.
I got my own fight. So your position in Norm is that he's NG.
That he's what?
Connection. Your position with Norm is that he's NG, right?
NG? What's that for?
No good.
Oh, well, like, I mean, I can't say anything about his information on Picton because, like, I mean, who knows, maybe he already was on that, and I just know that everything's just super suspicious. I emailed the guy a week before he actually did that video going in there with the same thing, and like I even commented on his video, the same thing, and like now that I'm looking back at it, Wayne Pete, like I didn't even realize that the guy that's recording Norman is the same camera guy that works with Wayne Peters. So it's like they're all
One
there.
of the things I can tell you, if this helps,
Mhm.
I'm not trying to defend anybody. I just met these guys.
Yeah.
He called me out. He's got Donald Trump Jr. on his speed dial.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of people behind him. So he called me out, and he said, well, let's get together. And there was a need to go to Ottawa anyway. So I thought, well, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. I might as well kill myself and go knock on the pizza gate at the Prime Minister's.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
So I did that.
Mm-hmm.
You're the first person to come out of the woodwork and say be cautious of Norman. But not saying that you've said that.
Yeah, no worries.
You're the first person to raise that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one of the things I about this game that I get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
27 years.
Wow.
And they've hurt me. And they killed my nephew. And they kidnapped my child.
Jesus.
After they hurt her.
Wow.
I mean, I'm in this to kill these people. I don't make no bones about it.
Yeah.
I get a lot of stuff sent to me. A lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had, I mentioned something on one of Phil McConnell's shows that I got and somebody sent me. I already knew it, right? I already knew that, but it wasn't even that I knew it because I went and investigated. I knew it because 3 other people sent me the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
In some cases from just different perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Some cases they sent me other pieces of the same puzzle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 dogs playing poker. The one guy had the whole frame, but he didn't know it was 4 dogs playing poker. The other guy had a whole bunch of the center sections, but he didn't have the outside frame, so he didn't know it was 4 dogs playing poker. And they send it together, and I go, oh shit, that means 4 dogs playing poker, right?
Right.
I get up and talk about it, and I get people saying, well, you got that from me, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing how I got people, especially in my personal life, I have people that because I've talked to them about things,
Mm-hmm.
suddenly they think that they're spies or something. And people get crazy.
Oh, I totally get that. I totally get what you're saying, and like it's not an ego thing.
I'm a pissed off dad.
Mm.
I'm a pissed off dad, and Norm's a pissed off fireman accountant. And my experience with the guy so far is he's a pretty solid individual.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that he might not have just, you know, some of your stuff might have found its way into his descriptions based on other things. But I do also know that a big percentage of what he knows is like a big percentage of what I know. I didn't go investigate the pig farm, but I know a lot about it because people keep sending me files, and you read them and you start to see data points connect.
Right.
And after a while, you get a better understanding of.
Well, here, you know what? It's cool. I'm not trying to get you to not work with them. I'm just letting you know what's going on because here's the story. Like I met Wayne Peters through my friend on Facebook around the time of the New Zealand terrorist attack. Because I was trying to reach out to people because I found evidence in that video that basically shows that it's fake. You know, so I was running around trying to do that, and just a little bit after that, I went to file because I was starting to feel terrorized by the government because they're doing all this shit against us, and like I felt they were about to come and arrest some of us like they're doing in England, right? Anyway, this whole time I've been trying to get people to do exactly what Norman is doing. Norman's working with the same guy that I went to try and get him to do a class action or some type of legal action against Trudeau. And I'm not saying that his beef with WSIB didn't happen, because I see that video was on there a long time ago, but I am seeing a pattern now that I'm looking at all of the facts versus feelings videos as well, that they were using that to find out information while Wayne's talking to me on the other end and just telling me that he's an old war vet and he had some head damage. He doesn't understand any of this stuff. So if these guys are working together, hanging out together, like going to house together, it's really hard for me to believe that they wouldn't have at some point mentioned this to the guy that they're also working with, which is Norman Travesty. And it wasn't the first time that Wayne, like, look, if I used to be a DJ, right? So I know about promotion and I know about involving people and things, and and just basically sharing it in a way to like, if someone gave me a tip on something and I made a video of it, I'd share that video with them to be like, yeah, here, check out what I did. So why, say for instance, when I inform Wayne about someone that messaged me about South Africa, do they go on the other channel, not his What's Up Canada channel, the other channel, and record the thing from the guy from South Africa, do a whole expose on it, and then just give me a thumbs up? Why has Wayne actually, up into the point when, before he blocked me and offended me and we got in we were headbutting, why did Wayne, like, he was purposely ignoring me on his videos, and I like, all my messages or all my comments I would make before we were talking pretty good, and then all of a sudden, just even before he blocked me, he was just ignoring me altogether. It's just, there are too many odd coincidences the more and more I look into this. I'm not saying that I actually think that what he's done is basically not expose what's really wrong with the human rights in Canada. What he's done is just basically, like, sugarcoated it. So that's why I think it's wrong, man. Because there's so much wrong with more wrong with the charter than it doesn't apply in a court of law.
Well, I've heard that the charter thing from him recently. He's touting that, and like, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't give a shit about any of the laws. I don't give a shit about the government. I don't give a shit about anything in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean any disrespect to you, man. I started and I went through the Williams thing, and then they raped my baby, and I told those cocksucking motherfuckers I was gonna take everyone down until every priest in this country was dragged to the church and hung by
Yeah.
the neck.
Well, I'm also kind of trying to warn you, man, because Wayne, when he first started and came over, all he was concerned about was getting to that protest in Ottawa, and this is when I was trying to get him to do the things that they're doing now, right? And he's on. He was, listen, yeah, but he was a yellow vest dude, man. He doesn't know anything. These guys don't actually know. They probably are faking everything they know. I don't know, man.
I know.
The guy was a hobo in his car, and now all of a sudden he's so woke. So whatever, man. If you don't think that's odd, I don't know.
No, I get you. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I'm just saying, all we can do is watch.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, this is the fight. I got no dog in this fight.
Yeah.
And watch and wait.
Well, Travesty, his first appearance was with these guys, is what I'm saying. They haven't not been working. Like, when was Norman Travesty doing stuff before them? Before Facts versus Feelings? I don't see anything online anywhere.
I don't know the answers to these. All I can say about Norm is that he reached out to me and he said, "Listen, I've got something I need to talk to you about. You know, face to face. How did that happen?" And we were going to go get that. You haven't seen it yet, but we got some video at an LGBT human trafficking seminar, and then I'm going to hit them with a weapon. I'm going to hit them with a bomb that's going to explode in their face, because we got cops doing a human trafficking seminar, and we showed them the FBI pedophile symbol. They've never seen it before. But the guy's TV, they're talking about they went to an FBI training center. So what's going on? How come it's in the FBI handbook that these people don't know about?
Yeah.
How come these cops in charge of human trafficking don't know about the Freedom Pro? So that means that their training is willfully in support of child trafficking. Because they're not. The truth is being omitted from their training, their processing. Right? I'm trying to figure out how to word it. There's got to be a way to word it. So when I tell the average person on the street, they go, "What the hell?" Right? Yeah. No, I get you. I think there's a lot of posers in this thing. I mean, I'm not because I use YouTube as my vehicle to create my weapon, which is what people don't talk about weapons. Really? Well, there's people that would be prepared to end their lives as popularity of my channel grows.
There, as far as I'm concerned, just look at the Facts versus Feelings channel, man. The only thing they covered was them running around fighting with gay people and yellow vest stuff, and then all of a sudden they got woke. So I mean, I'm not trying to claim like I'm some super intellect or anything, man. I'm just saying if people are doing that and in order to gain, and not only that, they're misleading Canadians because they're putting up that stupid guy from the that tried to charge Trudeau too with the Catholic Church thing. He's going to the UN. The UN's just as bad as the damn church. So like, why you can't go to a rape? You can't go to a rapist to.
Kevin Arnett guy.
Pardon?
That Kevin Arnett guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was abroad 10 years ago.
Yeah, see, I just figured it out recently, but see, but this Facts versus Feelings, the guys that are working with Norman are putting out videos talking about like that's just fresh news, right? It's because they're.
I had my day wasted by the guys we're talking about, not Norman, the other guy.
Yeah.
I went to Ottawa because Norman contacted me. He sent me emails apparently, but I get so many damn emails. Sometimes I look in it and I go, shit, I don't have time.
Yeah.
300 emails. I can't spend 3 hours going through emails right now.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So he sent me emails, and I just got emails from NTE or whatever his weird email address is. And never paid any attention to them. I don't jump around. I started I got to scroll down to the beginning because I'm working my way up from September.
Yeah.
In email. It's not fair to people who sent me an email 6 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm not going to get it for 6 months because of people that, Anyway, so I got the Linda Paris stuff. People were messaging me going, this guy wants to talk to you. And I went, oh, that's kind of cool because I'd heard about this guy. I'd gotten people who said me stuff on him.
You heard about him from? Hold on, pause that thought. Where did you hear about from? Because he charged Trudeau?
Travesty? No, the first I heard about Travesty was on Linda Paris. When he was talking about the WSIP thing and how they attracted the money to the trust.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I cared about. The other stuff is just stuff that comes to his door after that with celebrity. Gary McHale showed up and milked him, and he milked Norm out of a bunch of money before he left town. I had Gary McHale try to do that to me 10 years ago. There's a lot of posers.
Well, since these guys have, okay, you got my folder, right?
And then there's a lot of intellect like you. I got a lot of intellect like you that contact me, and I appreciate every goddamn one of you. And you're all different.
Yeah, no doubt.
I got a woman. I just connected her with Norm today, and she'll message me and she'll say, give me a phone, and I'll send her something that I've been wondering about. And shit, within 48 hours, she'll drop me back an email, and then it's like reading the root level internet search of all this shit.
Okay, listen, man. All I gotta say is,
I people like that. Why don't you pick an agent name?
I've been doing this. I've been doing this like since at least 2011. I before Anonymous was anonymous.
I know.
I'm not saying not before. Like I'm just saying before I even knew I was supposed to be anonymous. I was just talking as a person, you know.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying to you, why don't you go to Proton Mail, set up an agent name, you haven't already. Agent, whatever the hell you want it to be. Somebody else has already got it, you won't be able to get the address, you'll have to pick a number. Right? Set up an agent name, contact me at Agent Margaritaville, and let's work together. You can communicate. You gotta communicate on a different network, because I'm sure.
I don't care what Norman's done. I don't care what Norman's done, what him and Wayne have done to me. Dude, I'm a child abuse survivor, man. And I'm doing this because I'm trying to help the kids. And they've basically terrorized me, bro. And I'm trying to tell you that now. I don't know if I'm gonna work with anybody, dude, because I think that's abhorrent what him and Wayne did, and I can prove it. So if you want to keep working with them, that's cool, dude.
No, I tell you what I do, and I'll tell you what I had this conversation last night with Serial Brain too. Tokyo Washi called me from Japan. I was like, holy fuck, man. Like, I know who you are. I mean, I know what people have done with your work. I know what you do. I know what the guy is. He's disabled things before. And he reached out to me because he heard that he saw my video on Agent Rose. And he went, oh shit, that's Margaritaville.
I don't care what the guy's getting done, bro. I don't care what the guy's getting done. He's ripping Canadians off now. They're frauding Canadians. Section 15 doesn't even apply to his damn thing. He's just trying to gather shit up because he's got a huge ego, probably. Section 15 doesn't apply to his case whatsoever. Period.
Maybe he's wrong. Do you want to work together and see if we can figure it out?
Work together?
I don't know. You're asking yourself.
I emailed the dude. Bro, I emailed him. I called him out. I said, hey, this is abhorrent what you did. I didn't swear at him much. I don't know if I did or not or whatever. I talk with my heart. Okay, so like, I mean, I told him what's up, and he doesn't have the balls to send me a message back and try and defend himself. The man's a fraud.
What I can do to help you.
All right.
If your position is that he's got to find the crumbs, put the trail together, figure out what you're trying to communicate to him, which he either has or hasn't by now. You're assuming that he's even read the email. So
Well, I know Wayne read my challenge and he ignored it. Wayne and I are acquainted.
okay.
Wayne is
Wayne is who again?
Wayne Peters is one of is the first one that had his interview when he went to charge Trudeau.
Is that the guy with the camera?
Wayne Peters runs What's Up Canada.
I don't know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, Wayne Peters is basically a guy that came from Vancouver. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me finish.
Yep.
If it's the guy that just did the video where he's standing in front of the team flag talking about the evidence from the big farm being ground up by the OPP or by the RCMP,
I haven't watched that video yet. I've been digging and gathering evidence.
that's the problem with reference and stuff is you haven't seen it. It's just a waste of communication. The reality is you said that you sent stuff to these guys.
That I
You're saying that they went ahead and used it, they didn't give credit for it, and they got some of it wrong, right?
no, what it is it's identity fraud. They've taken what I've done and just recycled it in order to defraud Canadians out of money. Is what I'm saying.
Well, then that's an issue you'll have to bring up with him personally. I can't help him with that.
Yeah.
It's not my fight. I mean, I just know the guy, he reached out to me because he has the phone number of Donald Trump Jr. And the reason he has the phone number of Donald Trump Jr. is because they saw that I was trying to introduce the concept of a blockchain government law.
Mhm.
And normally if it's just some cowboy doing that, I guess they wouldn't pay much attention. But I was chief designer for Massive Steakhouse from 2013 until they murdered him in 2008. And the guy was the technical director of BlackBerry. So that's why they reached out. And that they reached out through Norm shows that they have that much respect for him. So I just take them on face value. And that's all I can do. And that's all I'm going to do. The minute somebody brings something to me, I sit down and I go, okay, what are you bringing to me?
I'm not going to bring it. I'm just going to make the documentary and fuck up his narrative. Because he basically ripped off, he basically screwed over Canadians for frickin' donations, man.
If you're
He's
gonna
lying
do
to
that-
people.
If you're going to do that, do it as quickly as you can. I mean, don't let this wait, because if you're going to pull out of the water on real facts, do it before it gets too much gravitas in the work that I'm giving you. Right? I can't do this, and you can. But if you got the good stuff, the guy, dust them off. I'm cool with it. Right?
I understand, man.
But I'm the first one to say that if there's a fight, it should be fucking fair.
Mm.
Straight up. Man to man. So if you got shit on him, take him down. I'm not going to help you with that.
I understand.
This is my job. If you want my help to work with him to sort out the problems with his narrative and help us work together.
He's already a thief.
Hmm?
He's already a thief. He stole from a fucking child abuse survivor, dude. I don't care. He's a piece of shit. I would never work with him, ever. I'd just as soon bury his fucking stupid legacy that he's trying to make than ever let him, than ever try and work with him for what? Did you see what these people have done? I'm one person, man, and they basically did their best to piss me off enough to leave them alone, so that his little writers, so that Wayne's little writers. I bet you the Rick and or whatever is Boswick. I bet you those are his quote unquote writers. Who knows, man?
Are you 45?
Pardon?
How old are you? 45?
40.
40, yeah. I was wondering, I can hear it in your voice. I've got a lot of people that come to me because I'm a smart guy. Okay? And it's not that cool all the time. But I'm hearing somebody who's got a lot of passion. I was you at 40. Trust me. I was really you at 40. And you got a lot of passion, and you burn it, and you're pissed. And I know it might not even be possible for you to hear what I'm saying in a manner that means sense to you.
No, I'm objective with myself. I'm objective with myself. I hear you, man.
When you're my age, you're gonna go, oh, that fucking Margaritaville guy told me that. Shit, he's right. I do that all the time, especially with stuff like that. He was a really wise guy. Your energies are going in the wrong direction. I got people I work with. I know they're not. I don't trust them. I don't trust anybody.
But you still have to work with them. I understand.
I'll never trust you, and I don't want you to ever trust me. We work on a scale of appreciation of each other's character.
Well, that's why I'm upset. Listen, I contacted you because I remember you from Mabel Danger, and I really hope that field ends up being all right. And that's the only reason I contact you, because I'm just concerned for you because you're getting involved with people that are frauds. So I'm just letting you know, man.
I've been involved with people that are frauds. I lived with people that were frauds for 17 months. I got conviction for frauds. Four counts. They didn't do it, but they got me. They don't let you win. I just sent a letter off to his lawyer, so his lawyer called me last week because I'm the only witness to this. And I told him, I said, Field wants to get out of there. And I've been working with Tim Pacasio, got a deal for him that's pretty sweet. He's looking at 3 to 5 years. And he's probably got some more charges coming from other matters.
Wow. What are those for? I thought it was just for messing with the lawyer chick.
There's something brewing that he got involved in on the show. There's some serious shit going down somewhere. I don't really know the details of it, even reflective, but just a version of it.
That's a shame.
The way I work, right now it's time. It's just a lot of people, a lot of assets, but a lot of it you get trusted, right? So I don't trust anybody. But I mean, the stuff you've done right now, you got a whole bunch of energy ginned up, and you're pretty much ready to say, I want to make this about how Norm Travesties abroad, more so than I want to make this information useful to fix this country. And I think you need to take some time to think about that. Look for a while, shave a couple times, look in the mirror and say, what did I do all that work for? Because right now I got a guy, and you say he's a fraud, okay, then let's keep that as a chip in the game. If he's a fraud, if this guy took your shit, then we own it. I don't give a shit about Norm Travesty. I give a shit what he does. And if he does what I asked him to do, and he does it with a degree of precision, he's got a lot more charisma than me. I tend to just stand there and tell it like it is, so that I feel like swearing I do. He can try to keep this social game like that. But I mean, we're about to take this into what to get really big. And
That's what I'm saying, though, bro. Listen, man. he has, Wayne Peters has, so then therefore Norm Traversy has possession of.
You keep mentioning this name, Wayne Peters. The guy could walk in my door right now, and I wouldn't know who he is.
That's why it's odd, because Wayne Peters works very closely with Rick Boswick and the other weird-looking dude.
Rick Boswick is the guy who wasted a whole day of my life last week.
Yes, and Rick Boswick is the one that's been recording all of Norman Traversy's videos.
I know. I met the guy. I sat down with him in an interview where he was trying to speak. It was the first interview I've ever done, and the guys, even my guys, were basically telling him to shut up.
So, Wayne Peters.
This is about you and your goddamn ideas.
Wayne Peters is very close with those two guys, so I'm surprised you've never met him. To be honest with you, that's why I'm saying it's weird.
I'm not surprised because I went to Ottawa for 2 days. I don't know where Wayne Peters lives or who he is. All I know is that, as it stands right now, Donald Trump Jr. communicated to me through Norm Travesty. They're interested in my work. Roseanne Barr and Linda Paris are hanging out now. And Norm Travesty is Linda Paris's favorite chew toy right now. And Linda Paris has just found out from Norm Travesty that I have a Q crew that predates the whole QAnon movement by a year. How is that possible?
Well, I don't know. Are you sure it was actually Donald Trump Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah? How did you confirm it?
Because I have somebody else that's connected to that group.
I see.
Yeah. I'm not in this.
Well, you know, I got a beef with Linda too. You know, I showed her sent her the meme thing. She did the same thing these guys did. I don't care that she didn't say anything, but she didn't even respond to the email. And then I sent her the audio thing I did of JFK Jr. or JFK's speech.
You put a lot of emotion in the fact that you let her know by email. And I know for a fact that she gets more emails than I do, and I'm still trying to answer them from.
Yeah, but see, she's obviously getting them because she's obviously getting them because the next few videos she's got the meme folder up. Do you understand? So like there's the action of the emails and then the reaction of her videos showing what the result is.
You can look at my last Tim Holstead video. Your comment channel below saying, "Hey, dude, you used my video and you didn't give me any credit." And it was because I had made a mistake and forgotten to give him credit.
It's not about credit. I don't care about my ego, dude. It's about the people. Normal people don't do that. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I did it.
You know, you respond to emails because you seem like a normal person. These people don't respond.
I get comments online all the time. You never commented. I went to do this and you never responded. And I say, well, I'm glad I heard you here because I haven't gotten to your email yet. I get that 3 times a week.
I'm just letting you know it's just really odd behavior, man. That's all. Like if you sent something to Field, if you sent a piece of information to Field and he didn't respond to you by email or respond to you at all, and then you saw it on his show, wouldn't you kind of be like, what the heck?
I've been involved in the intelligence world for a long time. I design situational models. That's what I do. One of the things I do besides software.
Okay.
You haven't paid attention on my channel. There's lots to learn there if you're interested.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I put it up. I could probably, if I had Field's catalog and gave a shit enough about it, to go and watch all that dribble for the fucking 800 hours there is out there. More than that. 1,000 hours. I think I could probably catalog about 20% of his home runs came from me. Maybe more.
So you're happy working with fake news? Are you happy working with fake news?
Sorry?
Are you happy working with fake news? Because it's our own version of fake news, eh? these guys, this Boswick, the Facts versus Feelings, the What's Up Canada, they're fake news, man. They're just trying to gather things to put out ratings. They're not actually doing research into the stuff they're putting out. They're putting out the same You said you said that you knew that guy was a fraud. That.
Pause button for a minute.
Okay.
Good. Press your pause button. I heard everything you just said. Okay? And I'm going to respond with one simple sentence. I convinced Robert David Steele by email, I have all the emails, to go on Alex Jones, which is the biggest fake fucking news there is, and tell the world about adrenochrome. And 90 million people learned about adrenochrome from that. And you're filling my ears full of this long banter how somehow I'm wrong for working with big fucking news.
What I'm saying is I can prove to you that they're faking their news. I've already proved to you that they're faking their news. So why would you want to work with them is what I'm wondering. Because if you're a strategist, that would be an alarm bell for me. If I knew that the guys that I was working with actually didn't really, they just literally faked a situation to...
Press pause again. At this point, we can't continue. I'm looking at two guys. You're one of them, and I'm looking at another guy. I'm going to call him Guy. I'm saying,
I think I misjudged your character, sir.
here's what I want to do. I want to educate as many people to adrenochrome as possible. I want to make it, I want to get the concept, I want to get the name, I want to get people looking and digging and thinking and wondering what the fuck in as many minds as possible. This is a word that would have got you killed in 2005 that you've been talking about. And I say to you, what do you think? You know, you give me your answer, whatever it would be. And I say to the other guy, the guy, what do you think? And I say, you know something? Alex Jones has got an audience of 90 million people right now. And of course he's fake fucking news, but he's also stupid. And Robert David Steele, I got Robert David Steele. Robert David Steele, he owes me a big favor. And he's ballsy enough to do this. And Robert David Steele has been learning about adrenochrome from me by email for the last little while. Because I learned about it right to the Cleveland Clinic in Haiti in 2008. I sat on the grass with a doctor who was going into jail, scared out of his mind, and confessed to what he did there at the Cleveland Clinic in 2008. When I got out of jail in 2009, I actually flew there and inspected the place. I went to Lutheran Beach in the Dominican Republic and went to the harbor where they ship the fucking children out of.
If you're concerned about Canada, why wouldn't you want Canadians to know the full story about human rights? You just want to keep going on with the guys that can't even figure out what the Section 15 is supposed to be, is what I'm saying. Like, that's just weird to me.
I don't give a fuck about any of that. I don't give a fuck about our laws. I don't give a fuck about our fake system. I don't give a fuck about this fake government. I don't give a fuck about Canada. I give a fuck about getting my daughter. See, people keep misunderstanding me. I don't give a fuck about the human rights code. I don't give a fuck about the Indian issues, and I don't care about the building our fucking railways. I know why all that's happening. You don't have to convince me of it. I'm already way past that. What I've done is I figured out a way to take this fucking country from them, and they're not going to stop me. And what non-travesty is the face of it. And he and I have an agreement that I can be the face of it until I find a better face.
Okay, good. Yeah, I see where you're standing, man. I do hope you get your daughter back. Man, but that's pretty sad to me. You just do whatever it takes to fuck Canada, right? You'll just do whatever it takes. Just you'll work with whoever. It doesn't matter. I could prove it to you, but you don't want the proof.
If you were educated about what's coming out of your mouth right now about me, you would then you would know that what I've done is proposed a model for a completely new country, a digital country. And the sample group's been 100% positive. I've been fueled with it and played with it. I didn't even expect it to grow.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
Overwhelmed me. But it has to do with what you just said. And every single problem that you talk about this human rights code and this fucking thing and that fucking thing and this and that.
If that's such a big thing, then why would you? You're saying that's all bullshit.
They're all big fucking things, dude. They're all big fucking things.
You're saying that's all bullshit, right? But then Travesty goes up there and he can't even get the damn charter right.
I'm telling you, you can laugh at me all you want.
I'm laughing at the situation because it's just like, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Any means to an end,
I'm
then.
trying to tell you, you're facing east in this thing looking for a sunset. You've got all the things you do know, and I'm not challenging any of you. You're smart.
Well,
guy.
I'm just letting you know, if you want to just ignore it and continue without hearing the evidence, then you're just going to be part of the presentation, I guess. I don't really give a shit, dude. If you don't want to, if you just don't really give a shit, and then you just got any means to end thing, you don't care what happens, Canada. You don't care about what. These guys are taking money from innocent people that are really trusting in them, and they're literally making up like screenplays. What it appears to be screenplays to make a show. Wayne Peters is part of this.
Dude,
Man.
I'm trying to tell you, you're not fucking listening to me, and I'm going to try one more time, and then we're going to have to end it, because I don't have time to go round and round and round and round and round. I get that you're a smart fucking guy. I'm trying to tell you that I'd like to work with you. I'm trying to tell you that if you've got a beef with these fucking guys, then maybe you can let me deal with it, because I own them. I've designed a fucking blockchain government system that has got these Americans' attention. This is bullshit. And was I capable of doing this? Yeah. Take a look at my CD. It's on my fucking page. That's why I put it there. It's not an entertainment channel. If you want to know about me, everything's right there. My curriculum vitae is right there. You can see what you're talking to here. I'm working on my PhD in integrity systems. I've already found the way of where the energy is inside your nut. Right? I know I can show you where your soul's energy resides in your soul. I'm trying to figure out if I can actually measure the frequency and affect change in it.
I don't.
Okay?
Why would you ever want to do something like that?
I'm not telling you this to impress you.
Why would you ever want to do something like change someone's soul?
Pardon me?
Why would you ever want to do something like that? Try and change someone's soul?
Change their soul?
Yeah.
Well, I did it with my daughter. I think that's why they kidnapped her. They knew what I was doing. I was going to do that as a master's thesis. I chose a different thesis. Back in 1993, it's all in there. I did my thesis with Agent Margaritaville still alive and breathing with one lung.
You didn't change your own soul?
From Trent.
Did you change your own?
I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry, did you change your own soul? As an experiment?
My own what?
Well, as an experiment, first.
Well, I have, yeah. I didn't do my own first, no. But I didn't do that. I didn't do it. I didn't have an opportunity to do it until I had children. It's the concept is you start with at the moment of genesis of the child, and you can increase the level of joy in the child. You can decrease it too. That's what they do. I just figured it out how you can increase it, and it's very simple. I did it with my daughter. There's 3,000 pictures of my daughter on Facebook. They're all time dated and data dated. And there's a legion of people that were just watching this little girl grow up, and she's the most joyful and beautiful thing that they've ever seen. And it's because I developed a system when I raised her, and I stuck to the system. I made sure she listened to the same type of music all the time, even when she saw it. Because music increases cellular production. The nano vibrations in music, broad spectrum, it increases cellular production. That's why plants grow and play music to. And I made sure I made her laugh as much as possible, because that increases synaptic growth. And then I did everything with love, everything, every single thing. poured love into her life. I spent every day with her 24/7, 1,520 days.
You know, I'm actually sad to hear that that's and then that you were missing your daughter. I feel for you, man.
Yeah.
But I can't help but be upset. I can't help but be upset though, because you know, I've had my own terrorization from this.
Everybody has.
And you know, basically what you're telling me is you know, I heard really good from everybody else, so I don't really care about your story, and I don't really care to hear any more evidence. I'm just gonna keep going on and doing it. And I actually called you to warn you. I contacted you to just warn you, man. I was looking out for you. I could really care less.
I'm not going to talk to somebody that's going to put words in my mouth and then tell me what I said.
When did I do that?
I never said I didn't care about your evidence. As a matter of fact, I said, why don't you be my consigliere in the mob, and you can be the guy that helps me. You can be my bullshit meterpreneur. I want to be the referee in a fucking fight, though. I don't have time for that shit.
That's fine.
Selected as the guy that's going to carry the torch until somebody takes the torch out of their pants.
All right. Well, what I'll do? How about this?
Give a shit.
Okay. How about this?
If you want to work with me, go make up an agent name, send me an email, but make the subject line Norm all the time. That way I know it's you. Just put Norm and then a number for the email. So that way if I need to go find an email and you're saying, I told you this on such and such a date, I can go look for the subject line Norm 14.
Mm-hmm.
And the only people that ever see these emails are you and me. Okay?
Okay.
And you can track them. And you can tell me in a gestual way. And by gestual way, I'm telling you, if you can say in one paragraph, Norm's wrong about this because this, and make it less than a paragraph. Just make it a simple paragraph. Because I get pages and emails where I open it up and I see that it's going to take me 2 hours to read it. And I think, geez, do I want to call my 96-year-old mom or learn what this person's stuff's all about?
So basically, like if it's a video, a timestamp, just as quickly as possible, so you can get all the information with the easiest and less.
Yeah, I keep telling people, if you're gonna, I don't mind, send me a video, but please take the time. Take the time to tell me where the relevant stuff is. Because if you're going to send me an hour-long video and you're going to say, I need you to watch this hour so that you get what I got at some particular very vague point in the video, that's a waste of time. I might sneeze.
Okay. Sounds good.
I don't have that much time. There's only 24 hours in the day. And it's getting crazy now. And I've got people offering all kinds of shit, and I'm not taking any of it. People are offering me gobs of money. I got a woman with $250 million that wants me to be Prime Minister of Canada. And I keep telling her, I don't give a fuck about old Canada. Old Canada's a broken cesspool of child trafficking and bullshit. And I don't give a fuck if her charter of rights is valuable in the courts of Ontario, because I plan on changing the whole fucking thing anyway once I take over the country. And can I do that? Yeah, I can. The smart people said, holy shit, how did you figure this out? And I went, it's stupid. So I'm going to take over the country. And I'm not saying I don't care about my own country. I fucking well do care about my own country. It's so much that I'm going to build a new one. I'm going to build a digital country where you're a node on a blockchain. And your concerns that you have now, you'll have a way of submitting them where you'll be able to watch and see who read it and when they read it and what their response was. Because it's a blockchain. Complete, custom-made, tailor-made information system. People are saying, it's got to be based on something. I want my gold. Fuck your gold. I don't think gold's worth shit anyway. Can't do much with it. I can't even throw it at you. Right?
Yeah.
What the fuck uses gold to me? Right? But the most valuable thing we have is our NSA data. I want to mine that. I want to set up an IT police. People can become IT police. All kinds of internet warriors out there. Great.
That's a fantastic idea.
Become an internet police officer, an IT police officer, and you can go mine the data of the world and solve murders and child trafficking and pedophilia and get paid for it.
That sounds like a really awesome thing.
Well, this is what I do, right? So I can make a new Canada where everything's perfect. Not perfect, but I can fix 90% of the shit by just switching over to a digital Canada. Where you're a node in a blockchain, and all your government documents reside in your state, and nobody has access to them. There are 256 encrypted both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who you are, but it's your communication cell for your country. And you can use your thumbprint to buy stuff because it doesn't matter what you use. All it's going to do is communicate to your cell that, yeah, I agree to the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
The cell's just going to send a yes or a no to the requester of the transaction, and all the information will get encrypted and passed into your cell, and you'll be able to pull up and launch your transaction.
Mm-hmm.
There's a $700 billion green market in Canada. Nobody talks about it, thinks about it. But you want to know something? If we just get rid of money and switch to my money, which is going to be called a cherry after Don, who took it in the balls for Canada, over the poppy. I don't give a shit about Don Cherry's history. He took it in the balls over the poppy. It's cool enough for me. And we should call our new money the cherry. Lots of beautiful cherry trees in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So we get rid of money completely. That'll fuck them up. But what did we replace it with? A blockchain system whereby you now own 1/36 millionth of this country.
Mm-hmm.
How much does that make you worth, my friend?
Mm-hmm.
I can end homelessness. I can end hunger that day. Because anybody that's hungry will be able to walk into a restaurant, put their thumb down on a pad, and order a meal that's worth up to a certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll have their own wealth. It's just invested in the system.
Wait, isn't that what Field was talking about on his show at some point? You guys?
Pardon me?
I think I recall hearing something close to that regarding the shares of the country or something like that on Field's show.
But people have talked about it. I was talking about this a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did do is I sat down and designed it.
Mm-hmm.
Pissed off, and I designed it. And I shared the design with the elements of the design. It hasn't been spec'd yet, but the elements of the design have been shared and so part of the sample groups.
Mm-hmm.
100% positive. They've done ape shit over it. Because I can do that. I can end hunger in a day.
Yeah.
Right? Every transaction you make will also put money in your retirement fund.
Mm-hmm.
Every transaction you make takes care of all your taxes. You don't have any need for government communication, and then anytime you do it, it'll all be digital.
Mm-hmm.
Things like small claims court. Why the hell do we have that? Wills and Gilbert. People can do all that on an iPad. Everybody's got one anyway. And is it secure? Well, when was the last time you checked your bank account? Somebody took money out of it by cracking the app. That's only 128-bit encryption, and our system is 256-bit. Nobody's ever going to break into that. We've done the backup. It's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And so Norm is accepted as a person
Pardon?
to help facilitate this.
Mm-hmm.
Norm is accepted that he's willing to help facilitate this.
Mm-hmm.
And you come to me and you say, I got shit on the guy. So I'm saying, well, why don't you work with me and see what we need to do here? Because we need to ask him to step down, and I'll ask him to step down. But I can't do it until I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard you say this and this and this. So you might as well be talking about fixing the transmission to me. Right? I was systems designer. I don't know anything about the charter rights. I don't care about it. Because I know it's fucked up. I want to build a better one. Put things in place, the safeguards in place. I don't want a prime minister anymore. I want somebody that we hire.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we hire? Well, there's 33 million of us, and we all have smartphones pretty much. So why don't we vote?
Mm-hmm.
Like a blockchain voting system, you can vote and actually look at your little vote on the scale of all votes. You can see the votes there. If you want to take the time, put it on a graph for you. I don't care.
I just don't get why that guy didn't go. When they did the charge, made it about SNC. Like that's public knowledge. I guess there's less things to prove. I understand, but you know they had in their possession international terrorism.
There is stuff. There's slices of these onions that all different sizes and shapes. I got somebody that's connected SNC to where the main hub of child trafficking is in Central Ontario. Do you know where that is?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a company in Brockville.
Mm.
It has an interesting resume. They make lighting. They make fertilizers.
Wow. Jesus.
I mean, I've got people who I got a woman that spent a month in a mental hospital because of what she found working up for me.
Mm.
So, you know, the reason we're still on the phone is because you're a smart guy and you remind me of me when I was 40. So I was angry at everybody, especially the people I needed to get back because they stole my work.
Mm.
And the truth of the matter is, they steal something from you, and you got a data path. You own them. So be smart about it.
Mm. I don't see how you can own people. I don't want to own anyone.
When I say own somebody, it means that you have leverage over them, whether they like it or not. Even if it's just an appreciation.
Mm.
Right?
I just don't like them lying to Canadians
Well,
and taking their donations based on lies. That's all.
not everybody's truthful. People all the time. They jump in and finish my sentence, and then they accuse me of saying stuff that I never said.
Mm.
Anyway, you got my email.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to work together, send me an email from an agent name with the subject line norm. Need norm 1.0. Do it that way. Do it digitally so I can easily find shit if you need to tell me. And if you want to work, figure shit out and fix this country together. Trust me, when you see what I'm doing.
I will, but I'm not gonna.
I'm not,
There's no point in me making an agent name, man. I'm not gonna go anonymous when I've been unanonymous for almost a decade. There's no point. I'm only like trying to hide after being exposed the whole time. There's no point.
I could get subpoenaed tomorrow and my email account would then be subpoenaed.
I don't care. Like I'm just saying about me, about anything I've sent. I only tell the truth, man.
Okay, well, I do care, and I asked you to do it a certain way, and you don't want to do it that way. You want to do it your way, but it was for my safety and the safety of my child, so I really don't have anything else to say any problem.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself. Bye.
So there you have it, folks. You heard that right. He was basically trying to get me to be okay with having something on Norman at Norman's house while Norman was there. They wanted me to be okay with blackmail. So I know I sound a bit hyperbolic and it sounds like he was just trying to be nice to me, but no, this was a damage control. It was a manipulation trying to get me to hush. And I know I didn't make this video then, but I did try. I tried my best to talk to people on different social media sites, and barely anybody. Actually, people started attacking me. So like that was obviously disconcerting, and I just kind of got really upset about that because it's like like I'm doing my best, and I mean. Getting attacked, like I get attacked by people in one area, and then I get attacked by people in another, and it's just like I'm just one dude, and I'm just doing my best to be a good truther, and it's just fucking weird. But that's another thing that's said to be done too. Like the bad actors, they end up basically like smearing anybody else that tries to do it or try to help because they want the stage because it's their job. They have to keep people's attention, or they want to make the money off them, whatever it is they end up doing, or what their goal is. So, I mean, It's so hard to tell. And wasn't there a thing saying that the military was, playing psychological games with us? Didn't Canada admit that? I'm pretty sure I heard about that, And so if they were, who was it? And what game were they playing? What part of what happened was the military mind game? I might show later the whole lady and the horse thing at the convoy. I did my best to try and point that out too. If you look at the video, her and her guy, who could literally be her handler, because it was a stunt, I feel it was a stunt, they intentionally, like even on the video, you can hear a guy going like, oh, lady's going out in the front, lady's going, or something like that. It's like, yeah, she and this guy literally went, they said, hold the line, and they went past the fucking line. That's it. If anything, it's like a ploy to try and sue the government, like get a major lawsuit. And whatever happened to that? Did she file a lawsuit? I think that she would, wouldn't you think that she would? And if she didn't, then it just seems a little more glowy, as they say. It's just so hard to tell, man. It's so hard to tell. All I know is that I'm legit. Even like my fault's on my sleeves, man. I'm just a dude. I used to be a DJ. I used to be a rather reasonable music producer, and I could have spent this last 10 years making music. Just as I said in that video I just posted from back in 2023, like I could have done that. I still could have done this now. Like I could have just fucked off and just done music and not given a shit. I don't need to make these videos, but I feel compelled to. It's my duty as a Canadian. And yeah, this is totally fucked. Like, I don't know if you guys understand how important this is, because if they actually did, if I'm right and they did what they did, they basically sold you all out for money. So, like, there's nothing that I can share that I have, really, like evidence-wise, like even if I like exposed Christchurch more, like that's not gonna do anything much, like it could help with regard to having us not mass importing Islam, which is super dangerous, any more than we already have. But like that's probably already going to be a powder keg as it is. There's not much I can actually share or do that's going to ultimately change things at this time. But what I can do is help people to realize that, not all people that are out there making videos and pulling on your heartstrings, like sometimes they're manipulating you, and maybe you need to have some discernment and to question people. I know it's hard to do. It's not something that's easy. Like for me, being in this game for so many years, like it's a little bit easier for me. And plus two, like I kind of become a little too suspicious sometimes as well. It's maybe good to have a happy medium, but you should still like not just trust every single fucking person. There's even people that got all kinds of attention just after the COVID stuff. Someone that I know personally, and she was mocking me when I was making progress on trying to dig into the legal status of who we are here in this country. And she mocked me back then, and mocked that I was like talking about religion and stuff like that, and and then here she popped up and she's going even farther on it than I did, I mean the religious aspect, but the thing is she didn't go that far with the whole legal stuff, like trying to figure out what's going on is what I mean when I say go too far. because I reached a certain conclusion with, and I ended up at, what is it, trust law. Was it trust law? That's a whole other rabbit hole, but like, I ended up finding out that, basically what that is you're trying to get your own piece of land. And I was like, well, what the hell? Like, well, how am I going to help people by doing that? I'm not going to like try and get land for myself. Like during all of this, I got to do something else that could be productive, because all these things, knowing the law isn't going to help with when there's like 50 million people that want to start a war here, like it's ultimately not going to do a fucking thing, priorities, eh? But anyway, yeah, like but the thing is that she didn't even bother like even communicating with me. Like I was literally the inspiration for her to even pursue that. And like she just treated me like I'm chopped liver. But then she ended up, working with old Travesty here. You picked the wrong one, hun. You picked the wrong one. Oh, it's just so weird. Like having been a DJ, like I actually know several people and have, or have met several people that are prominent figures in this fight on either side. So it's kind of interesting. Anyway, I digress. I digress a lot. I'm a digressor. Take this video for what it is. Like, and actually, you know what? People that were into the whole Able Danger stuff and that whole thing might also really find this interesting. He does talk about some of the stuff with Field in there. And it is interesting too that he's the blockchain stuff. So that's digital ID that he's pitching to me there. It's kind of an oddity that, we don't want it digital ID because that's the whole communist control structure. But I get it. It sounds appealing too, of course. Obviously you don't want cash for nefarious purposes. And I get the bonus to that, but like who's using it? It's the same thing with AI, like who's using it and what are they going to use it for? That's what's important. So like, it could have some good things, but like what's going to regulate them not abusing it like communist China and basically like cutting off our fucking money, if they don't like what we say online, or wherever. We're already heading into that, and that's another aspect of this too. Like I got to, maybe get this out ahead of time, so at least if they cut my internet off, like any day, whenever the fuck that's gonna happen, who knows if they're gonna come after me or not. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, like I'm certainly not running away. I'm doubling down on making my case known. So I hope you recognize that. And I hope some of you, like, that basically like threw me under the bus or, just dismiss the things I'm talking about, I hope this helps you see that, like I'm not bullshitting about this stuff. I literally have been involved, and things that I started have moved Canadian politics in one way or another. And it is weird. Like, I don't know, like if I say, for instance, if I was like a CIA agent in another country and like I needed to like have a persona, like I'd do something like that. I'd like kind of chameleon off of other people to seem genuine or to seem like I'm actually part of whatever it is that I'm trying to infiltrate, like it makes total sense if that's what it was, like to kind of doppelganger, like what somebody's doing to get attention for themselves, because that's what Norman did. I'll explain it more when I do the full documentary. But basically, just to explain it now, Norman did a video. I think it was the one in his car or whatever. He was explaining things that he was doing, and he was basically like not getting anything right. And he was like, it was clear to me that like he had taken the information that I had given him and was just like regurgitating it, but as if he had did it. So it just, like the section 15, I can't remember. I'd have to look it all up again, but yeah, it just didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. But it sold well to people online because they don't know any better, half of them. And I know it's bad form for me to be, mocking Guy because he's in his car. I've been homeless myself before, but I was basically just kind of pissed off because, they fucked me over, like just because you're in that position, like, and what, because I found an exit that I didn't have to beg people for money, and sorry for being a child abuse survivor, asshole, They even knew this too. I'm pretty sure they fucking knew this, like that I was, a child abuse survivor, and they still did it anyway. It's the same thing with the fucking leftists that I just left, that I just got fucking terrorized from, in the music industry, like holy fuck, you guys kick any puppies recently? Like fuck sakes. Anyway, I'll digress, for a long time here. I think that's about it. You guys can, you guys can just like dissect what he's saying there, like if you want, yeah, there's like even the thing when he starts out with a joke about himself, like, that's like a confidence game too. It's like, breaking the ice, so to speak. But it's also part of human communication, so I don't want to overanalyze it, but anyway, yeah, I'm a truther. I'm not gonna end up like having something on someone and then being cool with that and then trying to work with them. Like, fuck you, man. I got the chip on my shoulder of, having to do things the right way. Fuck that shit. Nope, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. All right, that's it. That's all for now. I guess like I might post things every once in a while if anyone can ever even see it. It's astonishing to me like how little people give a shit. And I don't know like if I'm in one of those like where they say where you just kind of keep the person in like this little like internet box where they think that they're just like the shadow banning thing. They think that they're getting access to people, but it's really not. Freedom of speech, not freedom of reach. Like, did you know, like on my Instagram, it's called Whatever Fresque, my Instagram, by the way. That's FRESQUE. Did you know, like every single one of the actual videos I did of myself, not a single fucking like or anything or comment or nothing. It's like that's a void. And, are they that bad? Or is it like that they're just kind of limiting their reach, so to speak? BitChute is the one that seems to get the most plays. Not much interaction though. But still, at least it's something. There's something there. It's at least I'm doing something, And in all honesty, like after I do this this documentary, if I still get the same like who gives a fuck attitude from people, straight up, like like why would I still continue to like risk my freedom and life for like if you guys don't even give a fuck that I'm exposing that you all got fucking ripped off. I'm exposing that you all got ripped off. And if you don't care about that, if you don't demand answers from these people, then, why am I doing it? Honestly, like why, if like, at least with these other people, they at least get, support, some type of at least dopamine hit, something like, I know it's kind of, it's not the best way to go out there to have your problems on your shoulders, but I have to do that because if I wait and I just pretend like I'm perfect, then it blows up in your face, so I guess that's what I have to deal with. But regardless, yeah, it's just like, it's been like a empty void of almost no interaction online whatsoever. Like, is everybody like just like out partying? Or like, do I smell like a fart, or like, what's going on? I don't know. Or are people talking shit and like they're not confronting me about it? You know, if you got some accusations, hey, look, bring them to me. Say it to my face, so to speak. You know what I mean? Otherwise, like, you know, you gotta wonder if they're just trying to smear me, right? And I've been going through smears from dealing with the far leftists in the music industry to, you know, I bet you it's been happening. Well, that actually, yeah, these guys were doing it too. That's what one of the things I think I was talking about there in the phone call. Like they were fucking mocking me on their video. You know, they're like having fun about it. Like, oh yeah, like our sources or our source or whatever. Like they're just mocking that they fucked me over. So yeah, fuck them. I'll never fucking work with them, type of deal. You know what I mean? Why should I? You know, like, you literally fucking robbed me. And plus too, like, they could have like actually helped Canadians more. Like the thing that I'm bringing up with how the facts versus feelings guy, instead of like get my input on like, just because I said this is the first thing that I saw or whatever, this is one of the first things I saw, and started speaking out about more. And he did a video on it without even like consulting with the person that got it, you know, and like what he thinks, what I think. Like I literally had like interactions with that dude, and you know, like I protested for the ITCCS or whatever it's called, you know, for First Nations, and like back when, you know, it wasn't popular to do. And it wasn't the orange square thing. It was like, you know, like I caught the heat from the same people that threw the orange squares up later on. You know, it's like fucking hypocrites for sure there. But yeah, like, it's like, you know, it's like taking knowledge from someone and then just not even bothering to talk to the person with the knowledge because you just want to do your own fucking thing. It's ignorance at the least. You know, like, it's like me in music terms, it's like me getting music from someone or like a project from someone and then like just figuring I'm going to figure it all out for myself instead of asking them questions. You know, like if I need to ask them questions, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. It's nonsensical. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and just keep fucking talking. So it is what it is, jive turkeys. It's whatever, Fresk.
Get that mouse! Get that mouse!